Hello and welcome to Rate My Glide. I'm your host, Wackaflcka. And what we do in Rate My Glide is we rate your glide from a 1 skate to 10 skates. And if it's a really good glide, we'll give you the golden skate. So let's get cracking. First, we're going to watch a clip. Then we're going to judge it based on a couple of things here. While also providing some useful tips, because in the end, this is all about being educational, while also rating your glide. So, let's take a look at the first submission we have here. I Rate My Glide. Obviously, we're not joking around here. We're going to take this very serious when we judge it. And we'll pay attention to everything that happens here. That will lead into the end result. So first off, here at Wackaflcka Studios, we take production value very, very serious, okay? We have a standard to maintain. So when a clip gets submitted and the quality is low, that's obviously going to deduct some points already. Second, if you want the maximum amount of stars or skates or whatever it may be, you need to submit gameplay, okay? Because I want to see your mouse moving. I want to see no spectator client, okay? So that's going to be a few more deductions in the skates as well. But now let's get to the gameplay. So, first we look at the team compare. And something I just want to say, it's going to add a point here, is that real Twitch main would go for these plays here, okay? Ain't no field Twitch mains, okay? They would never go for these plays. They'd play behind the team. So the fact that he's going for this play is going to add another point here, okay? But they have a Sonai in here, they have a Lucian, and they have a Jace. They have a Teemo as well, and they also have a Lilia, but they're both not participating in this fight. So what do you want to consider when you go for this here? You want to consider the Sona ultimate, Lucian ultimate, and also Jace being able to burst you with his abilities as well, right? The nice thing about Spectator Client, as opposed to the gameplay one, is that you can actually see the cooldowns, which you can't see if you're playing the game. But I would just assume in games like this here that you probably wouldn't know if they have ultimate or not, okay? So we're going to always judge based on that. Unless you have knowledge that they don't have it, okay? But here, Sona's ultimate is about to be up, so you can't say for certain that you knew or not, okay? So that's just something to keep in mind here, because what I'm going to add next here will matter when it comes to this. So with that said, what we're going to first consider here is the opener, okay? And the reason why I mentioned the skill shots is because he's hugging a wall. And what does the wall mean? It means that you can't go this direction here. Your movement is limited. So if they throw the skill shot even here, right? It will hit you, and you have no way of dodging it, right? So this applies to everything. If someone's hugging the wall here, you can shoot your skill shot here, and you're guaranteed to hit them. Okay, they have nowhere to go, so you're pinned here. You're guaranteed to take ultis if they shoot you here. Also, you can't really flash this direction here, because you can't flash the wall, right? You can obviously flash back over here again if you want to get away. But overall, the open is a bit poor. Okay, your positioning wasn't really considered here when you did open. I would at least consider trying to be a bit more here. Obviously, it depends on where they stack, but at least leaving some gap in between the wall and you, so you have some kind of movement here to go either this direction or this direction here. You almost never want to hug a wall, okay? Unless you're against the Nautilus something, then you can obviously dodge the hook by standing perhaps here and hugging the wall if he's on this side here, but that doesn't really apply here, okay? This is a Sona ultimate, and as I said, even if she whiffs it and shoots it here, she's most likely going to hit you, and there's nothing you can do about it to dodge it, right? Same thing applies with Jace. His Q, right? It will take zero effort to hit you. Yeah, obviously, a flash, which is something you need when you go for these kind of plays. Yeah, but overall, the opener could have probably been a bit better here. Second, this is 98 tech we're dealing with here, right? So I'll talk about the opener where you want to leave a bit space here, but the second one is not too bad here. Obviously, the issue is that they're going to run this way here, and the issue with Twitch ultimate is when you shoot, when they run cross, it's going to be very hard to hit them, especially if they're one by one, right? If it's only one person who's trying to ult them, they will most likely, if they have high enough movement speed, they will be able to dodge your auto attacks. Luckily, they're stacked here, so they obviously going to take the damage, but you always want to look for some different angle here. If Twitch would have said come from this angle here, it would have been a lot better, right? If that was an option or not, that's another matter, but in general, could have looked a bit better in the opener as well, right? You obviously did get a nice stack here. Perhaps too close to. Something you can do on Twitch is you can pop your ultimate like a second before you open, just to have the additional range already before you even open, and you'll see Rat do that as well. Doesn't really matter. And then the second part that we're going to talk about. Auto tags, right? We see an auto tag on the minion here, right? Just a couple more here. And that's why I want to see the cursor movement, okay? We don't want to auto tag minions. That's a noob movement, okay? You want to keep it pro, you want to keep it insane. And something you can obviously do if you A-click is you can always just A-click on them, right? Because you have the on-click target thing, but this is something that obviously deduct points too. Okay, to get maximum points, you need to get maximum auto attacks on the enemies, right? You lose points there, right? You lose some skates when you get the auto attacks on the minions here. Overall, not too bad. The fact that Sona didn't have a ultimate up already made this kind of whatever. Also, if you would open over here, you would have not had to use your flash there, perhaps. And I would assume that you saved your flash in case Sona had ultimate as well. But in the end, they died. That's what matters. But something that you need to think about, even if you do play and you kill someone, you need to still think, did I play that well? Could I have done it better? Right? Even in situations where I kill them and things go well, I still think I did that awful. That shouldn't have worked. I played it awful. I could have done way better, right? And that's the point here, okay? Even if you succeed, you need to look and be critical towards yourself, as I am being right now, okay? This here, you want a yikes, okay? Because that's a yikes movement, right? Opener, you want to criticize yourself. You want to consider this here. As well, do you want to look at other things, right? We can see the summoner here is a smite, red smite. And that's not being used here. And especially when you're going this close, okay? If you're going up to sniff the bumhole, you know, you might as well just throw the smite on them. Okay? So always just look, did I use my spells? Could I have done more? Could I have done less? Could I use my W here, right? As I said, they're running away, right? So we're not seeing a full utilization of your kit here either, right? You could have thrown in a W there in between your auto attack. It doesn't cost anything because the timer gets reset. So it doesn't really matter, right? And that would have slowed them, would have made it easier for you to kill them, as well get the proper damage in the fact that they can avoid your ultimate by walking, right, as I said. So slowing them and doing these things here is someone you can also do, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. Always just look where you could have done better, even if you like the result. So that's it. They died. Obviously, end result is nice, but you still want to keep these things in mind here. So let's get rating. Back in the studio. Alright, so welcome back everyone to the studio here. And let's get right into it. The opener was mediocre. Positioning was mediocre. Movement was okay. We saw some moving in between the auto attacks, that's always nice to see. But the kit utilization was obviously very poor. No smite was being used, and neither your W, in a situation where you definitely could have used it. And the target selection was also mediocre. We saw some auto attacks going on the minions. That was obviously a bit unfortunate. And it is something that happens to everyone, but at the end of the day, it could have been a lot better. However, the end result of them dying was great, okay? Because it worked. You had the balls and the guts to do that. So you, my friend, you get 5 out of 10 skates. And I hope that in the future you will take these things into consideration so you can become a better glider and perhaps come back later and maybe one day earn yourself a golden skate. Good luck. And that is all. Thank you guys for tuning in to Rate My Glide. This has been Wackaflcka as your host. I hope you guys continue to have a good morning, evening, night, show on fit shit like that. Take care. Peace.